Capitol Hill is Republican Congressman Mike Haridopolos from the 8th District. Congressman, good to see you this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So the cameras actually caught you in the crowd. I know it was your first State of the Union address. Let's start there as a member of Congress. What was that experience like?
Well, it's an incredibly memorable experience, especially being a former U.S. history teacher, to be a part of the future of this country. And I thought President Trump was right on target last night, talking about how we've made real gains in his first year back in office. But as you recognize, and we all recognize, there's more work to do.
Well, as expected, as you know, the economy, the major theme last night, but also touched on big issues like immigration and foreign policy. Anything stand out to you during that speech?
Well, I think that what really stood out is that, back in 2024, the two big issues were immigration and the issue of inflation. And so the good news to reporters, our border is now secure. No one is coming across that border anymore, let alone wreaking havoc there at the border. Second, of course, the inflation rate got as high as 9% under Joe Biden. It's now under 2.5%. We want to continue that fight because we know how hard people work for the money they earn.
Yeah, it's clear the political divide was evident to anyone that watched last night. Maybe the clearest moment, it came when the president talked about immigration. I want to play the clip, and then let's get your reaction to what was in the room.
The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Congressman, I don't know if that was the main event that stood out to you, but what was your reaction when you were there live to see how differently the two sides see this?
Well, it really is shocking. It's a fundamental issue. You protect life, liberty, and property. It's just fundamental to what a government is formed in the first place, let alone the United States of America. And when they did not stand up for that basic statement, it was pretty shocking to see. But we've seen some real contrast, and I think that's why we have a decent chance of keeping the majority this year and why we're given the opportunity to lead. I'm proud to say that inflation is down. Your pension or 401k is up. Gas prices are down. Interest rates are down. And of course, we are rebuilding our American military after showing incredible success in places like Iran and more recently, Venezuela.
There were a lot more empty seats last night than usual. Dozens of Democrats staging their own event. They also had a Democratic response afterwards. That is traditional. What did you think of their argument, and even in some of the boycotts that were taking place last night?
Well, I think when you get elected to office, you participate in the process. That's what I do every single day. We want to have our input, make sure the people in Central Florida have a voice in Washington, D.C. I think it's imperative to listen to the popularly elected President of the United States talk about his vision for America. Again, we inherited, as you know, a very challenging economy, a very challenging immigration system, a lot of defeats overseas. It's nice to see America making a great comeback, and I think the president really highlighted that last night. And some of the great stories of America as well. Of course, that helicopter pilot who was shot up over Venezuela still completed his mission, let alone, of course, the 100-year-old veteran from the Korean War and his incredible display of heroism and effective flying during that war conflict. And so it was exciting to be a part of this process. We are excited to really move forward, and I hope we can pass things like the SAVE Act, making sure that only Americans vote in American elections.
Yeah, a lot of heroes honored last night. Real quick, want to touch on, we know NASA is rolling back the Artemis 2 rocket today. It's in your district. Some had said maybe Congress didn't give enough money. What do you see moving forward here to kind of avoid these incidents? Obviously, safety is the #1 priority.
Well, unquestionably, safety is #1. We want to protect those 4 astronauts. But as far as the budget concerned, NASA has never had a better time. We fully funded the budget over $24 billion. And if you remember back in July, Ryan, we added an additional $10 billion. And that's not even counting the amazing investment made by SpaceX, Blue Origin, ULA, and so many other private companies that are going into space as we speak. So it is a great time, or the golden age for space. And we think that the Artemis rocket will be launching soon, going around the moon for the first time since 1972.
Yeah, times are good on the Space Coast, and we hope that that's going to happen soon because a lot of people are waiting for that big step. Always appreciate your time, Congressman. Thanks for getting up early for us.
Thanks, Ryan. Stay warm down there.
We'll try.